Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Philadelphia Eagles. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they enter play here. It's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they come in with some fresh legs as they got the week off last week thanks to the early season bye.
And usually you hope your bye comes a little bit later in the year. But when you get a chance to get fresh legs back, you take that time and you run with it.
The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. This will be taken short. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And his first pass is incomplete. He was trying to find O.J. Howard, but it'll be 2nd down. And the offensive starters here for the Raiders.
And they should come in pretty well rested because they had their open week last week. Ideally, all teams want to have that open week later in the year rather than this early. But you make do with what they give you. So you take the time off, rest up, heal up, and come in ready to play.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again, Carr. And he comes back with one complete. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now, Carr again. That's into the hands of Pascal. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray.
When I was watching film this week, I had to write a note to myself. 3 touchdown passes in an NFL game deserves respect, not ho-hum just because they throw it around all the time. And he got his respect. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, that's the ultimate vote of confidence from a week ago. And look, he was great, not his best game ever, but obviously was very good to garner that award. All the talk this week, though, was about let's take that forward now. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing on first down is Murray. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
You got tape. You got tape. Hey, Joker. He's crashing.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47. Well, look now at our starting defense. They're a unit that enters play way down, number 28 in the NFL right now against the run.
For some defensive fronts, playing the run is not the priority. It's playing the pass, right? They get upfield, they rush the passer, and sometimes neglect stopping the run. That's something that they have to work on and reverse a little bit. Make sure you play the run on your way back to the quarterback. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now Carr. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, when we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, just what they're going through, whether it's seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Now left side on the swing pass. They'll get 4 there out of the screen, and it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. On first down, McKinley. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 39-yard line. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. Got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. He got 29 yards that time.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Switch.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Murray now, 3rd and goal. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurd, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
After 7-0 on EA Sports. On 2nd and a yard, Carr. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now Balaj. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a 1st down.
Well, we got beefeaters licking their chops and tasty dish in one fell swoop.
I did apologize in advance, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. That line's not eating tofu, I'll tell you that much for free. Turn, 30 yards all in all. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
He's got the first down here inside the 30. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
But that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Check. Motion out of the backfield. Motion out of the backfield.
They'll run on first down. McKinley. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. It oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Carr. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Carr. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down. The Raiders on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Carr going to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
This is fielded inside the 5. Good blocking there. Nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
On second down, McKinley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash too.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out.
The head coach relied on his eagle eye in the sky to make the right call and was told to challenge it, and it looks like it's paid off.
And from a coach's standpoint, when you throw that flag, it's probably a pretty tense moment. Here it pays off.
Yeah, you have that little bit of indecision. You throw it where you feel like you're right, and then you think, uh-oh, did I get it right? In this case, they can celebrate.
On third down, McKinley. An effective 7-yard third down conversion.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Akeem Hicks at 6'5", 332 finds his way home for the sack. 7th play in this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Safety's creeping. Check 3, check 3. Check.
Delay of game, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Single.
Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a 20-yard gain on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion. And what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in him. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Looking to throw again on second down. Carr, he finds his tight end Howard. That's complete. 7 yards there and a first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Greedy Williams picks it off. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
The keeper there turning into a big play of 23 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Pretty nice play here. They go read option, read the defensive end, and when he collapsed down inside, how about the quarterback pulling it, keeping it, and not only getting to the second level, but picking up some really nice yardage.
Very, very well read. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up.
Switch.
On 2nd and 9, Murray, and he'll find Hall. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Murray now on first down. And he fires one incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Murray looks to throw again, 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Now a give, right side. McKinley. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
First down, Murray. And this is going to be intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I think it'll be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started over at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta, where you see the final score there. Jimmy Garoppolo, excellent in the victory as his guys move to 3-1 after 4 games. Next, we'll stay in the NFC South. We head back here to Florida, check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And they were winners in their ball game as they were able to handle the visiting New York Jets. 24-13, the final score. And then finally, a good one on Monday Night Football between the LA Rams and the Minnesota Vikings. In the game you're watching, it was the former #1 overall selection, Kyler Murray, who put on an absolute show. his guys have the lead as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he loses the football a second time. And the Raiders pick it up. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running.
Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Kalen Ballage, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Come on, man. Let's go.
So here are the Eagles to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. On first down, McKinley. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 29, Murray flush to his right. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. On third down, McKinley. He'll have it first down past the 40. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Murray, he'll rifle this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Able to find Isabella.
Let's go. Let's do it.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
Check. Squeeze. Check hot route. Hot, hot. Go.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
On 2nd and 7, Murray. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Lutz with the extra point. And it's now 21-7. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw, it's Carr, and that's complete. It's Watson. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Balaj. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. On second and 12. Carr. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Myles Garrett. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. To throw is Carr, and that is incomplete.
And absolutely zero surprise that that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
No, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Now they try the right side here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Murray. He's going to look deep down the field. Got a man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. The 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Second and goal from the 1.
Hey, man, watch the boot, watch the boot.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Jakeem Grant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. and they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Ed Oliver. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Here's Carr. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. That's pulled in at the 32. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50. 1st and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
He's coming, he's coming, he's coming. We got double up, double up. Short.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Game, offense.
So that'll back him up 5. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how... complicated that is? Well, this was an excellent read. read the pressure, and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
From the 36, Murray. He'll take a shot for the end. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. As his guys are in for 6. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Replay.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. A good throw here, finding Pascal. And he'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Carr now to throw.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. This is fielded at the 27. We'll call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. This ball game certainly has gotten a little out of hand. This is normally when they say you got to fill. This is fill time for guys like you. But, yeah, to be frank, just a dominating performance. Really impressive what we've seen.
It is, and I'm glad that you went in that direction because otherwise we're going to have to talk about the museum tour we took yesterday.
Which was also impressive.
Which was also very impressive. But this game, how they've done it, offense, defense, special teams, they put it all together. And I got to tell you, I am beyond impressed by what I've seen from this team.
Check, crunch, check,
on 2nd and 1. Murray fighting, lost the football, and the Raiders pick it up. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Carr now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Toss play to Ballage. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Carr toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And they're going to drop him well shy of the first as he can only make it to the 11. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
That one, a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Steps away to his left. He'll try and run it. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a set blitz coming, and down he goes. Chris Harris speeds in for the sack on the corner blitz.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw it. Murray is going to float this over the middle deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Murray with a 3rd and long. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Throwing on 1st down is Carr. That's into the hands of Pascal. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Got Gordon open, completes it. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Into the red zone, it's Carr. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Carr to throw again. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders get a score closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that will shave one more off this lead. This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got a play in the catch.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still first down.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. They'll run it now out of the gun. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game.
Let's make these babies cry all the way. Go, go. Kill. Check 99. Go. Bang. Oh.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. So it's a victory here for the Philadelphia Eagles. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense that it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Eagles, they improved to 5-0 now on the young season, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they'll drop down to 1-3, and they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos.